Hey everyone, welcome back to Pointless Perspectives. This week we are doing one of our casual conversations, so not necessarily a movie, TV show, or a book, just talking about life and what's been going on. So obviously, one of the biggest things that I'm sure you heard about everywhere is the US election. Um, and I don't know, man, it's been kind of crazy. I have seen memes all over my Instagram page about how slow states are being at like counting the votes.
Yeah,
Um,
it's unfortunate. I wouldn't never thought that it would take this long, I think, because it never
yeah,
has. It never has. And people are saying it's because of like the mail-in ballots, which is true because basically the states that took the longest, they essentially were like told that they couldn't start counting mail-ins as they came in. They had to wait till boots are closed.
yeah,
So they basically had like hundreds of thousands to millions of ballots that they just couldn't count until the day after elections.
yeah. And then on top of that, I feel like it just feels so slow to us because we're actually like invested in this election. And like we had like a personal role, so like I went out and like I voted because it was my first time to vote in a presidential election, and I was so
Yes.
excited.
I mean, for
Um,
everybody in our year.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But like, I think we're like more personally invested, so it feels like that like old quote where it's like pulling teeth, like so slow because you're on edge. So
Yeah, but like, I guess the point is like, in the 2016 election, for example, they called it at like 3 a.m.
damn.
of that day, like, of like the next day, essentially. Like, they were able to call it because, and that's why I remember, right? Like, I woke up knowing who it was.
Yeah.
But this time, like, we didn't, each day we woke up without like anything that much new, and we're still unsure at this
Yeah.
point, right? Like, we don't know 100%.
Like 4 days or something later, we're still like, we don't know.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like meh.
Meh.
Like, this is like so different for everybody. It's not just like us. Um, I don't know if that's like a statement on like the American system for how they
Mm-hmm.
count votes. Because like I don't know how it works in other countries. Like,
Mm.
my mom said that it is done a lot faster in like India, but like I don't know how India works. Like, if they're even allowed mail-in ballots, because like
Yeah.
people have like different systems. Because like, right, like Australia is a democracy, but I read about how like it is mandatory to vote. Like, you have to go, or
Oh, I
otherwise you're
like that.
fined.
Well, I mean, like, not that people
But
should be fined, but like, I like the fact that like they're making sure at least everyone goes and like has the opportunity.
for like Australia,
Yeah, yeah,
oh yeah, because what that does is it essentially is that everybody's registered all the time.
yeah. Everyone's registered, and like, kind of also, you have to be like at least somewhat up to date on what's going on with
Hmm.
like whatever candidates are there.
So that point though, like, of hearing like, oh, you get fined if you don't go, like, it's not that you get fined if you don't vote, like, put something on the ballot. Like, you can just go, you just have to physically go, but you can like turn in like a
Um.
blank ballot, or you can just write something on it that like
Oh, I
cancels it.
see.
They don't, like, that's why, like, the person that's from Australia was saying, like, it's not that you have to choose like one of the candidates. It's just that you have to be there and have like marked off that you were there.
Oh, I see. So it
And
doesn't
so,
necessarily like make ensure that like you're voting or like you're doing something
yeah, I
you're
mean, it
actively
does,
doing.
because no, it does really help though, because like the point of like everyone is registered, and like you all have like, you have to go, so it
Yeah.
evens out the playing field, that even if you're from like a faraway place, like, people will have to government has to
Yeah.
give you access. And
That's
then the issue here
nice.
is like, you have to register yourself, right? Like, you don't,
Mm.
because of our freedom to not vote, like, they have, the only way to know who's voting is when we self-register. And then, if it's not really up to government to like mandate that, because like they
Yeah.
have to also respect your
Like,
voice of not wanting to do that.
yeah, like your autonomy, like your
And
choice of being like, nah, I'm
so
good.
it makes it hard for people that are in like extreme like rural areas or like farther away from like city hubs to like go and get registered. Like everything takes so long to get to them. So and then they have to go. And like underprivileged people that don't have access to like proper like steady
Transportation.
transportation.
Or,
It's a loop, right? It
yeah,
like affects your family and then
it's a whole thing. But on the bright side, we did have like a record voter turnout this year, which is dope. And then also
yes.
like a record of like voter registration, because I know like something that they were talking about like on the news or something was this Georgia, this legislator from Georgia that like dedicated so much time and effort to registering
Yeah,
people in her area.
she got over 800,000 people to register like
Yeah, that's
and,
crazy.
and I think that's evidence to like my previous point about how it's
Mm,
hard for people to register because it sounds like she had to like physically go and
yeah,
help people get registered because they didn't
yeah,
have the ability to like go like obviously if they registered it means that they wanted to but they couldn't in previous times
yeah.
or it
Because
was like
like
too hard.
yeah, they didn't know how. They didn't like they didn't have access to like that stuff, or they didn't have like because like
Time.
even filling out like the voter registration thing, some of the stuff can be confusing, or like you
Hmm.
don't always understand it. So having someone there like walking you through it is so helpful.
Yeah, or like if you don't have time, like if you are a like working every day of the week
Mm,
and
yeah.
like government like buildings close at like 5 p.m., but if
Hmm.
not everybody stops work at 5 p.m. So, right, like you have that
Yeah.
issue. That's why the whole like election day not being like a national holiday and you get the day off and you have to like legally give the day off is like one of like the one big argument because it
Mm,
basically like targets like groups of people that are like
yeah.
underprivileged and can't take the day off, like can't willingly take the day off because they have to work and then they have to figure out when to vote.
Yeah, I know some companies like let you like they like pay you, or I don't know if it's like all companies are mandatory. Like you have like a 3 hour window to go vote, and like they can pay you during that time. But like I think
Yeah,
making
but
it like
that's
a
like
federal
that's like
holiday would be so
corporate
much better.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's like the corporate people that can do that, right? So that means you have to work in like a nice
yeah,
office
like nine to
already, and
five
that's
type stuff,
yeah, and that's already like
like
a
a privilege kind of.
yeah, like obviously like your socioeconomic class increases because you're working in that
Yeah.
nice of a building that's offering those advantages. But I'm talking about like right, like if you're in like a service job or like
Mm.
manual labor or like you work under a contract,
Yeah,
like
or
a
like your
contracted worker.
essential workers type stuff. Like if you
Yeah,
work
like
at a
you
grocery
can't
store or something like that.
well not yeah, like if you're just contracted, like it's not
Yeah.
it's a salary like it's a hourly salary based
Yeah.
job. So you have an inclination to stay and not lose those hours.
Yeah.
Um versus like corporate jobs where it's not hourly based as
Mm.
much. It's more so you don't lose that much based off of like a day off.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what was like really I sent you this on like Instagram, but there was one one meme. Sorry to do like a whole 180, but one meme about like how Nevada was not like was being so slow at counting the votes, and like a guy went, "It's
Yeah,
Nevada,
but their
not
state is literally
Nevada."
known for counting.
And
Oh,
there's this girl that was like, then start Nevading up them votes. Oh man, I died.
yes, I saw that TikTok. I think it got like it probably was trending and like it was popular, but
Mm.
I thought you meant like people were also like on Twitter were like making fun because Nevada is literally like number one location for casinos, right? And like
Oh
strip clubs
yeah,
and like all those things, and like so they're literally known for like counting money, right? Because like in like strip clubs you're counting ones, and casinos you're just counting like chips or like
yeah,
money after the fact, like when people win. So it's like everything there is about just like simple like counting, and taking account of everything. And they're like, so this state that's known for all that is not able to do that?
Make it make sense. Oh my
Yeah. I mean,
gosh.
I don't think they themselves expected to have become like a state that like people were waiting on or depending on, right? Like
Yeah.
in the previous election, 2016, they voted for Clinton. So I think people weren't, which is why I thought it was interesting that people were fighting about like waiting for Nevada to finish their
Yeah.
votes. Like it could flip for whatever reason. And I'm like,
Mm.
but like, this is not a state that I'm expecting to flip. Like, if they
It's not
voted blue,
on. Yeah.
all the
Like,
states that like voted for Clinton stayed blue, if that makes sense. And it
yeah.
usually is like that
Yeah. And then you have
since it's
literally
against the
though,
incumbent.
but like I was like, okay, so obviously like I live in Texas, so we're like a red state, but like the margin between like the Republican votes or like the red votes versus the blue votes was like so much smaller than normal, and I
Oh yeah,
was
you
shook.
guys, Texas became a swing state this election,
Yeah,
in effect, like because people were actually unsure,
yeah, because like
which was
also
already a
like
big enough feat for Texas. Like how much work that like blue has to
yeah,
put in to
but
get
like
that kind of
all them,
voice.
most of like the college students are like turning up and like are they identify more with like the left, so
Yeah,
like the youth vote showed up.
this whole election was honestly credits due and given to POC Gen Z. Like,
Honestly, yeah,
there's no way to like deny it because like that's the biggest difference between 2016 to now is that
yeah,
one, the younger population increased, right? We have
yeah,
more now from like
mm-hmm,
all of us, right, that couldn't vote in 2016 can vote now.
yeah,
But on top of that, like the young population is recognizing that they should vote and they are because in
mm-hmm,
2016 that was like the biggest statistic drop was the percentage of voters that were 18 to 29 at the time like was very low,
yeah.
and people were like if y'all had just voted.
If y'all had just
uh
voted, man.
yeah, but the reason I think it's so hard for like 18 to 25-year-olds to vote is
Mm,
because we're registered in the state of like where's home, but not
mm,
everybody goes to school in that state and they go
yeah.
out like how we do. So I think I learned that when I was 18 and like we voted for like the local
Mm,
elections, like getting like the absentee ballot, sending it out from a college dorm. It's
yeah.
all very time consuming and stressful, and it's hard to figure out, especially when it's your first or second time.
Yeah. And then like on top of that, like for me in like 2018 when I like finally could vote in like local elections, like my absentee ballot didn't even like show up. So it's also
Oh yeah,
like requesting it
Texas
and
high
making sure.
key had that issue, right? Even this time around,
Yeah.
a lot of people weren't getting it from Texas, their
So
absentee
like
ballots.
people had to like drive back, but like obviously
Isn't
I
that
can't like
crazy?
book a
Like,
flight or something. Yeah, wild. I don't understand.
can't like I think in my head it's like like how you can like call other like offices like what I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna get into it because like
It's
that's like a whole other set. But like my logic is like, okay, why can't like an election office like just like fax it over to like I don't know. Maybe it's
there.
not
Yeah,
secure.
I guess like it's the whole like yeah, it's the security stuff.
But like they
Okay.
could essentially like send it to like an office in the state that you're in and
Yeah.
then they mail it from that office, right? So that way
Honestly,
it gets faster and local mail.
I think you should write a letter,
Nope,
put it in their
nope,
suggestion box, and let
nope.
them know what's up.
I'm sure that they would just like dead ass like just like respond like no.
No, sorry, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
I guess it's safe to say that this election has definitely been the one of, if not the most like stressful election we've ever witnessed.
It's the
Um,
only one we've witnessed and like taken actual
yeah,
care to
yeah,
understand. Yeah.
yeah, and
But it's
so
consumed our week.
it really has. And honestly, so Thursday, I was like feeling exhausted. I had like written like this huge paper and like was running on like 2 hours of sleep. And I was like,
Mm,
all right, with election, with school, with all of this, I need like a self care night.
yeah.
And
Dude, isn't that
so,
crazy?
oof,
Like all of this is happening while we have to take tests and like do assignments.
Yes, take tests, do assignments, live in a like world where the pandemic is like a huge concern and people can rarely leave their house because of
Yeah.
fear.
So
Um,
that was like the thing, right? Like, I don't know if I told you, but like my bio professor gave us like realized that we were all struggling on that midterm, so she let us do like she's letting us do like corrections on the
oh,
midterm
thank
and like
God.
send it back. And she had it originally set to be due Thursday morning.
Hmm.
And like that Thursday morning time is when she has our weekly homework assignments due as well. So we had like a homework assignment due Thursday morning and then like the midterm corrections.
Oh
So
gosh.
after like everything happened, like the way that my body reacted Tuesday night, like I like emailed her and asked for like to give us an extension on like the corrections.
Hmm.
She did. So like now they're
Oh,
due
thank God. That's so
Sunday
nice.
night. But like the fact that like all of that is still going on, like I still
Yeah.
have to think about like all of those things. I can't just like disconnect fully.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally like okay, so one of my classes gave like nighttime classes, so it's like 3 hours. Like gave us the election night off, but like we still had like an exam due that day and then
Interesting.
like homework due the next week. And I was like, bro, like can you like chill? Like
No,
I
all of this is because they accelerated our semester because they took away breaks because they thought that was how we wanted it.
Yeah, and like they're doing the same thing next semester, but the thing is like you're going to essentially destroy your students' mental health because like being in this system of like go 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 and never having a chance to take a breather is exhausting. Like for me, I'm like I don't even know how I'm going to do next semester. Like I just want to like I want a 3-day weekend where I can procrastinate all of my
Yeah.
shit to like a Monday instead of a Sunday.
No, straight up, I was like talking to like a friend and I was like, why do they think that we wanted no breaks? In a time like this is when you want more breaks. Like, I feel like, yes, I understand, like, then when you give like more days off, like, it can push people to like want to go and like, I guess essentially like leave, right?
Mm.
And like, I get that, but like, if you just give like a day, like a 3-day weekend, right?
Yeah.
The people know about the situation and everything like that. It gives people a breather. So if you just broke up the breaks so that you gave more 3-day weekends,
Oh man, yeah.
people would appreciate that way more. And like I think that's what they should have done. Like just made everybody have like
Yeah.
4-day weeks or something like that. But I
And
think they
literally,
can't do that because that messes up with class schedules. Like classes that have classes on Friday.
yeah. Well, like also, so like the thing like with our school is like they also made whatever students that were taking like some in-person class, they made them sign a contract not to leave like that area for the entire semester. So like you already have that contract in place and like there are obviously going to be consequences. So like why don't you just like give us some breaks?
Yeah, that's my point. Like, if they're afraid of doing 3-day weekends because they think that people are gonna leave, which, like, the difference between a 2 versus 3-day weekend is just the 2 day weekend, like a normal weekend, you just skip your classes on the Friday or Monday, right? So
Yeah.
it's like if they can go home on a weekend, like on a 3-day weekend, then they'll go home on a regular weekend. So there's no mandating that. Like, you can't just like jump to the conclusion that an extra day will cause people to go home.
Yeah. Like literally I like I know that like the semester's already in place and like we have I guess like a 2 month like winter break, but I genuinely rather have like more breaks within the summer, not within the summer, within the semester
Yeah,
than
yeah.
like that huge chunk cuz like yeah, I'm going to be beat after this semester and next. Ugh.
It's like great, we get 2 months, but then during when we're actually working, like those 2 months don't come back and like rejuvenate us. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
be during the semester that we need that breather. Like I'm totally waiting for this Thanksgiving break just as a week because like what happens in breaks, it's not even like you taking a rest, it's you catching up a lot of the times. So
Yeah.
This Thanksgiving break is to like will help us catch up before like finals and stuff. But the fact that they completely took away like spring break and things like that for next semester, like where do you get that opportunity to just catch up?
You don't, cuz like literally it's straight into like finals, and it's like you have like reading days or whatever, but again, a lot of the students are at home, which is definitely a more distracting environment than like our library. And then it's like just a day, and like you can't even breathe during that day. You have to like stay in your room and study your butt off until like you feel like you at least can BS your way through the exams.
Yeah, I'm concerned about how finals are gonna go this semester.
Yeah, I got a physics final. I'm not doing too hot in that shit, so we'll
Yeah.
see. Um,
It's just like last semester they were a little unsure, so like, they kind of favored like exams to like how it would be easier for us,
yeah,
making exams in general a bit easier maybe.
yeah.
But this time like it's almost like they're like, okay, like you
You
should have figured it
had
out.
like
You,
yeah,
yeah, you should have figured it out by now, so we're just going to make everything just as difficult. And I honestly think it feels a lot more harder because of the like remote situation that we're in.
yeah,
It's been really hard to focus in class and like pay attention because you're not physically forced to.
yeah,
And like now, like with finals and tests and stuff, they are not forgiving
yeah.
in
They're
test giving.
not. And like also thing that like really irks me is like, so for one of my classes we have like there's no like proctored exam. It's like virtually proctored, so it's on one of those like
Mm-hmm.
lockdown something like that.
Yeah, I have one of those classes.
Yeah, and like it's horrible because like if I ever have questions on like the actual exam, I can't ask anyone. And then like if I say something out loud, I worry that they're going to like think I'm talking to someone, so then I just like have to be quiet, and like even though on the inside I'm like stressed out, like so stressed out. And so like cuz normally like in a classroom setting, I would just like raise my hand or go up to the TA and be like, "Hey, what are you looking for here? Are you looking for this, like me to demonstrate this concept or this one?"
Yeah, you can't really ask for clarification. They're not allowing it. Like they are, but it's really you lose time, so
Yeah.
much time trying to do that during one of these like
Yeah.
proctored
And then
virtual
like
exams.
if you like email them while you're taking the exam, they're like, "Oh my god, are you cheating?" or something like that. You can't even do that. So you'd have to like wait until
I
after the
mean, yeah,
exam or something like that.
you have to use like private chat on Zoom.
Yeah, for like, because I don't have like none of my exams take place on Zoom. They all are on lockdown, and so you can't necessarily like write in there like
Oh,
there's
I
no
see.
chat function or anything like that. So I can only have any questions I want answered, like happens like after I take the exam and probably screw up half of the problems.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. But hey, um it's the little things, right? So self-care days, listening to like new music, getting into the holiday spirit now that Halloween is over. Um and just like I don't know. I also like okay, so in quarantine I've turned into like a 40-year-old woman, and like now I enjoy like cleaning my room or like doing like little tasks like that.
My room is such a mess.
Oh man. I like cleaned it yesterday, so now my room is like really nice. And like I'm excited.
I
Um
okay, so you know about my situation. I don't feel like I can fully like certain
yeah.
things are still in like suitcases and like from like college and stuff, and I don't feel like I want to fully like organize things and like set them in places.
Yeah.
Like I think I was really slow with it since coming back because I think a part of me thought I was going to go back to school in the fall,
Oh
and
yeah.
I essentially did, but came back, right? So then I came back and I was like, okay, now I'm here for another like 4 or 5 months at least.
Yeah.
And I think I started getting to that idea of like I'm gonna like settle down, but
Hmm.
then now I can't. I don't feel like settling down again. I can't really settle
Yeah.
down.
Cuz like things are still so up in the air about like whether to go back to college or like stay at home for another semester, and I'm like I love my family. I love my parents, and I know it's like a smart financial decision, but also I don't want to miss out on any more of like college and like those experiences of like living on your own and like I don't know.
Yeah, I get that, but honestly, dude, like the way that it sounds from like people that are living there, like there's nothing going on. Like there's nothing happening. Like certain people are able to meet up with each other that like live close, I think, but or if you have
Mm,
roommates, it's like kind of nice, but like someone I know someone that's like living alone and like he's like it's nothing. Like everything like events on campus are virtual, right? Because they can't have large groups.
yeah.
So you just end up doing classes and staying home and you just leave to like get like groceries probably.
Yeah, and it's so sad. Like, at least at home, like, I have my parents being like, hey, let's go out and, like, do something. Or, like,
Yeah, also you're in Texas where it's like much
yeah.
warmer and like you have longer months that you can like go out and like do
Yeah.
things versus like in Cleveland where we go to school like it wouldn't
Yeah. Like,
you wouldn't be
it's
able to do that.
November and it's, like, 70 degrees outside. It's
Actually,
wonderful.
actually facts like right here in Illinois it's the same. I'm very confused. It like the temperature spiked up and I'm like excuse me. Yesterday I like went out to like a forest preserve to like meet up with a friend and
Mm.
it was 70 degrees and I was wearing a short sleeve and like kind of sweating as we were walking around and I was like, "What is this?
We
What is
love
this?"
it.
I'm currently sweating in my room because my room apparently gets super hot for no reason.
I recently, okay, this is gonna make me sound really like dumb and like not good at life, but I recently learned how to open like my room window. So now I like open it
Bro,
whenever I want
what?
to. I want some like, cause like okay, I got literally yesterday I looked it up on YouTube
I'm sorry.
and was like, how do you open the window from the inside?
Have you
YouTube
never
didn't
opened a
help.
window in your house?
Well,
All the
no.
windows are the same.
No, I haven't opened them in my house. Like I know how to do it at college, which is why like in college I would sleep with like the window open.
That's because in college the windows don't have like a locking mechanism.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I didn't know. And so I tried YouTube. YouTube was like how to break out of a window.
Ah,
And I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. So I had to like go bug my dad and be like, hey, how do I open this? Because I've been trying and like pulling
isn't
up.
it like the type of window where you just have like that little uh switch thing that's
Yeah,
like a
there's like a
lock
switch
and then
thing, but I didn't know how to like which way to turn it. Because
oh
like
my
I
god,
thought
there's only
you'd
one
turn it.
way it turns.
Okay, no, it's like a whole like 180 type thing. So
Yeah,
check.
so you try it one way, and if that doesn't work, then you
I
try it the other
did.
way.
I tried it like both are one side, both are the other side, and like neither of them worked. Turns out they had to both be turned inside. Haha. Anyways, moving on from my stupidity. But
I
yeah,
don't open my windows because Illinois is humid, so like especially like when it's warm,
mm,
it'll just feel humid in my room. It won't do anything.
uh, yeah, like now, okay, so that was definitely us like over the summer, but like now it's like there's a breeze, so I'm like, ooh, nice
Yeah,
breeze.
I don't know. I tried it a couple times in the
Mm.
summer to open up my window, and like I just felt wet. Like it felt wet in the room, and I was like, nah, this is gonna mess with like the smell and like everything. I can't do that.
Haha. Um,
Maybe I'll try it for the winter, but it kind of doesn't make sense to try it for the winter, even though I'm literally sleeping with a fan on.
um, I don't know if you can hear, but somebody decided to call my house. Anyways, moving on. So, okay, I have a very important question for you, and well, it's not like controversial, but it's kind of controversial. So, after
We just talked about politics for like the first like 15 minutes. I think that's the most controversial we'll get, even though we didn't talk about any controversial topics. But
I mean, yes, but also like I feel strongly about like well, I don't necessarily have an opinion here, but it's like it's definitely like something that's out there. Okay, anyways, moving on to my question. Do you think that holiday music should be or can be
oh,
played immediately after Halloween or like do you have to wait until like after Thanksgiving?
Bruh, so okay, I guess this is where the controversial. I mean, I don't really know if this is controversial. I don't listen to holiday music because I didn't grow up on it.
Yeah.
So actually, I have no emotional attachment to holiday music because I have no emotional attachment to Christmas.
This is yeah, okay.
Like the only thing about Christmas is to Hindus, because that's what I am, and I'm proud to say it. Only thing that Christmas is to us is like
Gifts.
gifts. Yeah, literally like holiday sales and gifts. So, right, we don't have like a religious
Yeah.
attachment to the holiday, and like because we don't need to have one.
Yeah.
So, holiday music, it's like if it's just music, right? And like if you like the songs, like then listen to it. Like no one should like hold it against you. But like when radios and like public places should start playing it, I think after Thanksgiving because
Yeah.
or like around Thanksgiving. Like right after Halloween, like beginning of November, it doesn't really feel like holiday season,
Mm.
but it feels like holiday season around Thanksgiving. At
Mm-hmm.
least in like Midwestern states where like we start seeing snow and stuff, it really feels like holiday season. But
Yeah.
no. I
Yeah.
mean, my birthday fall is in December. It always falls during holiday stuff, so
I mean, it
I don't
worked
know.
out for you, so it's a
It
good
does. I
time.
mean, I guess like the Indian parents try to find ways to condense gifts. So my birthday
Christmas
being
and
close to
birthday.
Christmas is like, yeah, my due date was supposed to be Christmas.
Aw, you would
I was
have been
born
a Christmas
early.
baby.
Yeah,
Ugh,
actually, my cousin's a Christmas baby.
that's so cute.
Back in India, he was born on Christmas, so
Aw.
they like do like the Christmas decorations for him, even though like
Mm.
I'm like, why? Like over there,
Okay.
it's they're literally like, what? Okay, so like that's like the difference, right? Like here we get like a whole. They call it winter break, but really the break is because of Christmas holidays,
Yeah.
and they
And
just say
like New
winter to
Year's,
keep
but
it
yeah.
secular. But like
Mm.
in India and stuff, I think they only get like the day or a couple days off
Ah.
because like
That's nice though, because then like for your cousin, like if they like still lived in India, his parents would at least like have the
oh yeah, like
the day off.
because there's multiple religions there, but like
Mm.
and I think they're good about giving everybody days off. It's just that Hinduism is like the majority religion, so they give more days. They actually give like days, proper days, and or weeks off for those holidays.
Hey, love that. Love
Versus here, where it like,
that.
doesn't even it's not even recognized. So it's like recognized, but like that's it.
Yes, that makes sense. No, I think like for me, because like I kept seeing like Mariah Carey's like not yet, like for her song. Like I don't know, she kept like I don't know. There was a TikTok or something that was on social media, and I was like, I still don't think it's the time yet, my dude.
Some people like they just need it to be November, and November the month indicates that it's holiday season. And I'm like, all
Hmm.
right, go off. If you love that spirit, then like I get why you want to listen to holiday music now.
Yeah.
But like I personally like, especially since we're talking about how beginning of November for us right now is like 70 degrees, it doesn't feel
It.
like
Yeah.
a holiday, especially out here for me right now. So like it doesn't feel like the time to play holiday music.
Definitely. But I will say it's not holiday music, but I have been like listening to like new music and like getting into new stuff. So
Oh yeah, so many people are
obviously,
coming out with so many albums,
yes.
and like things are just out here like
Mm-hmm. The
Ariana
most
Grande.
iconic, yeah, so far being Ariana Grande with her
Ariana Grande came out with
positions.
that. It sounded like from her tweet, like she didn't, it like she announced it the month before it was going to
Yeah.
be released. Like nothing else. Like people didn't think that she was going to come out with something because she came out with an album last year. And,
Mm,
Western artists like take a couple years to come out with
yeah.
albums. So like I don't think anyone was expecting her to come out with one this year. And then she was
He was
like,
like,
I can't
hey.
wait to release an album next month. And everybody was like, the fuck?
Like, say
Okay.
what?
Okay, sure, yeah, release that album. We want new
Release
music. And
it,
then she
bruh.
released the album, and I think it made everyone go feral because I think it's such a different vibe from what she normally does. Or
Dude,
maybe I just
it's
haven't
so
listened to her.
good. Ugh. I mean,
It's
like,
very R&B, I think.
yeah, but like she's always had like a good voice for that, and like some of
Yes.
her songs on her like older albums like were reminiscent of that, but she hasn't had like a whole album, you know?
Yeah, considering that, like, you know, it just feels, the suddenness of this album really feels like it was just a project she worked on for herself.
Mm,
And I think she really just wanted to write and make music that she wanted to, like, it not for like commercial or like
yeah,
radio play. And like she
it's
just
so
like really
good.
put her passion or like music she loves that she wanted to do into it.
I love it. I'm such a big fan of like her album. The only sad thing is like, okay, so whenever I do like housework, I like blare music. And so I can't necessarily blare her album because my parents will be like, what the shit is that? What is she talking about?
I
You know
mean,
what that
yeah.
is?
If you can blast rap music in the house, then you can blast her album. But like if you can't do that, then you shouldn't blast her
Yeah,
album.
yeah,
Even though like if you're not paying attention you actually can't really understand what she's saying
yeah.
anyways. Like I can't, like if I'm like doing work and just have her music, like obviously it's just the melody and like the
Mm.
actual like production of the music that I'm hearing. I'm not hearing the lyrics, but when I pay attention to the lyrics I'm like, oh, so this is nasty nasty, got it.
Literally a song called Nasty on here.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
I
I don't
see,
get
I
it, but I get it.
see. But I get it. Yes. And then another artist, like I don't think he came out with like anything like new in the past like year or so, maybe or like in like this past month. But like one person that I really discovered was like Pink Sweats. And it's like the last S of sweats is like the dollar sign, which sounds stupid, I know, but his voice is so like smooth and like the songs he sings are like so cute. They're about they're very like romantic. It's
Hmm.
like take like we're dancing like it'll there's one song that's about like dancing with your significant other and like just feeling like you were 17 all over again with
Hmm.
like all those feelings.
Is he young? Is the artist young?
Yeah, I think he's like in his like early 20s.
Interesting. I've never heard of him, but like obviously there's so many artists that I haven't heard of. Like I'm outside of that purview. Like I recently like finally listened to Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean's
Oh.
Blonde, and like I get it. Like I get like the hype for him and like everything. And but I never like went forward and like listened to the album and like I think I knew that the reason I never did it. Okay, the reason I never did it I think is because I always knew that if I were to listen to his music, I need to listen to it. I can't just like play it
Yeah.
in the background. So like I think now I'm getting into that idea of just like listening to music without it needing to be like background noise for something. And
Mm.
so I listened to his album and, I dig it. I like the way that I do enjoy that genre of like mixing mediums of or
Mm.
different like audio bites
Oh.
and like really getting into like being different with like how you compose your music. Like it's not just like
Yeah.
melody of like instruments or electronic music and then just singing on top of it. Like he like takes like sound bites and like cuts them in or like makes it the whole like track as like a interlude between songs or something like that.
Yeah. Like
It's really cool.
yeah,
It's an
so
experience.
it's an experience, one that I do not know yet. I haven't listened to Frank Ocean. I know there's so much hype and stuff like that, like you mentioned, but like
I would give
again,
it a chance.
yeah,
You're
I
either gonna like his music is definitely like you either gonna like it or you're not. Like it's
yeah,
not. But
um,
the cool part about that album is like right, he has like a whole like audio track in it of just like this French dude talking about like how him and his girlfriend broke up because he said that he wouldn't follow her on Facebook because it was like the beginning of like Facebook and social media, and she asked him to follow him on or asked him to follow her on Facebook, and he said no, why would I, we're physically together all the time, like I don't need to follow you.
yeah.
And she basically, that girl had constructed that to mean that he's cheating on her, like he's not
Oh
following her
god.
because he's seeing another girl or something like that, and she broke up with him, and like like, and that guy goes, it's just pure like jealousy, right, like, or like
Yeah.
insecurity. And then that's like the whole track of from the album, and then the next song is like Frank Ocean talking about like a relationship that was just like almost like doomed before it as it started.
As it started. Oh
It was
wow.
really cool. It was like a cool transition. Like I thought it was all one song. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize that it was just two separate tracks.
Oh. See, like I definitely want to listen to it, but again, it's like I have to make sure like I actually listen to it. 'Cause like one of my favorite things to do, like with any sort of music, is like pick out the little things that I can hear, like the little things that they've added. And so like with I think like Justin Bieber's like intentions, there was like one like part that like I picked out that was like the swiping of a credit card or like a car starting
Oh,
or
like
something
what
like
they
that.
implement and like the ad
Yeah,
libs.
the
Yeah.
cool little like sounds that they put in that like you wouldn't expect but like are there is so cool. And I feel like from what you said, like Frank Ocean kind of does some of that stuff and like he's very innovative with like his production techniques. Um
Yeah, I mean
so
I wouldn't know exactly what like crazy ad libs he's done like or like things that he adds in the back
mm,
because like I haven't listened to it enough for that or paid enough attention for that because I listened to his album like once or twice. I haven't like done more than that,
mm,
but
yeah. I don't know, big fan of like that type
you
of
know,
stuff.
Young Gravy be hitting.
Young Gravy.
Yeah, Young Gravy and Baby No Money.
Oh, I
Their
okay.
songs together are really good. It's like so funny.
Really?
Like they're kind of like troll music people, but like it's like they still are kind of good.
Like it works?
Yeah, if you, it's because so like they're friends with Noel Miller and Cody Ko,
Mm,
and I think like the concept of music is kind of in the same realm where it still sounds good, but like the lyrics and like the way they compose it is can be a little comedic. I don't know.
yeah. Like sarcastic sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever. I mean, you probably maybe you heard Young Gravy's song. It's like "Shut Up X" or something like that. I can't even remember the name of the song, but like basically, like a part of the song, it literally goes like, "He's like, man, I'm gonna be pissed off if this gets big on TikTok." Like that's in the song.
Yeah, okay, I get that. No, because like we both enjoy like Cody Ko and Noel Miller's like music. So I feel like if it's in the same line as that, like I'd probably enjoy it. Just because it's like it's very genuine and like them having fun, but also making like solid music.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I still don't know if I like everything that he does. I think just some of his songs are big and like it's interesting to hear. But like low key, like I think another friend of ours liked him first, and like we trolled her so hard for
Oh my
liking
god, yes.
Young
So
Gravy because at the time I had no idea what that meant. Like
oh my
what is Young Gravy?
god. It's like his gravy, really? Like what kind of name is that?
But
And
I
it's
think the
not
name
even
is
like
to make fun of like that whole line of rappers that are young something.
oh, that makes sense.
Like it's like a troll almost on like
So he really like
rapper names.
trolling in every aspect.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was the premise of his.
Oh man. That's cool though. I gotta there's now I have new music recs, so solid. Very happy with this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what else. You know, I think I mentioned in the previous casual convo I'm really into K-pop now, so that's really consumed my life. Still,
Still, yes.
still going on.
Yeah.
Now there's supposed to be like a couple new albums coming out this month.
Woo woo. We love to see it. I am also into K-pop. I think it's a solid genre, solid field. Um,
You make it sound. Why are you so timid when you talk about it? Even like as though you haven't been following it for like 6 to 7 years.
ha ha ha! Just expose me, why don't you?
How is
Great.
it? How is it exposing?
I don't know, cause like there's a whole stigma around like
Well, then say. Oh, then screw those people that have a stigma against it. Like good
shit,
music is good music, regardless of where it's
shit.
coming from. Like
Yeah,
I grew up
bruh.
listening to Indian music and like Bollywood songs. If I can respect that type of music, and a lot of
Yeah,
it I don't understand
yeah,
at all, I can respect
yeah.
this type of music. It's not.
Exactly.
If
Like
you
okay,
respect Latino music, then
yeah,
you they
exactly. Like
it's
Latin
not
music.
based
Yeah,
on location.
literally, okay, yeah, that annoys me so much because like I know people that are like, really? Like Korean music? I'm like, bro, you're like all into like Latin music and Latin pop, which is dope. Like, I love that music as well, but it's like the
But
same
it's, you
thing.
probably still don't understand what they're saying in those
Yeah.
songs. So it's
Yeah.
obviously not based off understanding that you're
It's
judging
the vibe, it's
this
the beat, it's
genre.
the feelings. So much good stuff. But yes, I am a okay. I am a proud proponent of listening to music from like other cultures or in other languages
Yeah.
because like honestly, you learn a lot because like definitely
The
like
way they compose things is different. Like
yeah.
K-pop really blends things or genres, elements
Hmm.
that you don't really hear in the
Yeah.
Western music department, right? And then like Latino music, like Latin music, really it has like the, what is it called, the reggaeton.
Yeah.
So like that's unique to them
Yeah.
because that's like part of the culture with music that in Latin music, right? Bollywood music has a lot of um
I don't
beat,
know what
like
the instrument's
bass.
called, but yeah, it's like
It's
it's
drums. It's like
drums.
forms of drums
Yeah.
because that's what they like. A lot of like North Indian music is structured from. So like you get that implementation in the modern music as well, in the
Yes.
good songs that come out.
So,
You also have like a lot of string based instruments
mm,
because they have a
oh,
lot of string based
yes.
instruments in their songs.
So, like, honestly, just like how we should all appreciate people that come from like different walks of life and stuff, same thing goes for music, okay? And I'm not gonna be
Actually,
ashamed
that's
of
what they
that.
say. Like people that, I mean, that is how it breaks down. I saw somewhere like a post like what Democrats are more likely to be listening to like BTS and
Yeah.
Bad Bunny. So basically non-American music, and then yeah.
Hey, but I mean, yeah, like,
How you gonna get
honestly,
mad at them for being good? I just
yeah,
don't.
yeah. Like genuinely, like, how can you be mad at them for breaking records and like
That's what
being
they're mad
like
about, is that like a non-American or non-Western artist is
group
breaking into the Western like
and like
awards, and like
killing it?
it's like, dude, chill, take a chill pill. Like
Like, like,
it's
okay,
music.
yeah, and like, I get that it's like your livelihood and stuff like that, but like,
No,
just
no,
because
it's music. Okay, it's
it's
music.
music and like,
Like it does not. It doesn't. Them being successful shouldn't make you mad. Like because
yeah,
it's not like it's taking away opportunities from Western artists, because
like,
those guys are making just as much as an individual artist or
yeah,
more. So it's like
like, yeah,
they're doing fine. Like they're still making their millions
like you
off
can
of
hate,
your
but
ticket sales.
they're still making bank. They're still living their life. They're still like winning awards. Like you can be butthurt or you can like work hard and like learn from their ethic or like whatever. You can support
No,
like
I think like people like get mad that like, oh, like these guys are like, taking awards, and then like not, and then that means that we're not recognizing like the artists from like our country or whatever,
yeah.
even though it's like that doesn't, like,
Also
awards don't
like
dictate like your, whether you're going to still have sales or not. Like it's not like
yeah.
because you don't get an award you have to stop making music.
And then like on top of that, it's like some of these awards are like voted by like people, by like fans. So like it's just like their like supporters that are voting for this and like you doesn't mean you don't have supporters, it's just that like it's like majority type stuff.
Mm.
I don't know, but yeah, I think at this point we can wrap up this wonderful casual conversation.
Even
um
more of like a casual rant, but yes.
Honestly, yeah, well it ended on a rant, but yes. But yeah, we will talk to you guys next week,
Hmm.
and hopefully by then we will have a solid idea on who the president elect is.
Just
Um,
like less anxiety about everything.
yes, and less stress and more hype for the upcoming holiday season.
True.
Alright, peace. Bye, y'all.
Bye.